Federally, the latest poll conducted by Nanos Research shows that Pierre Poilievre continues to be the top choice as prime minister and hit a level not reached by any conservative leader since 2013. Joining me now is Nik Nanos, the founder and chief data scientist at Nanos Research. Nik, thank you as always for joining us this morning, a rainy Saturday morning where we are at least.
Yeah, I guess a bit rainy for the Liberals too once we start going through these numbers.
You're right. Well, I'm not saying you, but a lot of people raining on their parade right now. The numbers, holy cow.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at the ballot numbers, right? And, when a government's behind or any party's behind by 10 points, you go, that's not very good. 15 points, that's bad. 20 points, Roger?
Oh, the Liberals placing your bets.
Wow, you can see that the Conservatives led by Pierre Poilievre at 43%, Liberals back 20 points at 23, NDP 21. That's within the margin of error. And, it speaks to where the Conservatives and Liberals are at. The other thing is, Roger, what happened in the last couple of weeks, pharmacare, the Liberals and NDP announced a pharmacare thing. I think maybe they were hoping that would move the numbers. Not so much. Actually, the Conservatives are up 3 points in the last 4 weeks. So if the Liberals or the New Democrats thought that there'd be any kind of bonus out of introducing this pharmacare program that was very important to keep the parliamentary coalition alive, nothing out of that. For sure, right now.
Any indicators long term that this might be just a blip, or just the Conservatives continue to dominate?
Well, the big question is what are the Conservatives going to do to mess things up, I guess? And I think that's probably what the Liberals...
It is theirs to lose right now, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think what the Liberals have to do is that somehow there's something learned about Pierre Poilievre, or he makes a mistake, or someone close to him makes some type of major blunder in order to change this trend line. But, the thing is that since last August, the Conservatives have been in the driver's seat, and it looks like there's just nothing that can change this right now. So I'm not sure what the Liberals and New Democrats can do other than hope that there's something that happens to Pierre Poilievre that may make some people hesitate who are currently supporting the Conservatives.
And the NDP, they must have their eyes on second place right now.
Yeah, the thing is if the NDP numbers tie the Liberals or move ahead of the Liberals, I think that's when we get into election territory. Because the thing is, it'll be kind of like those, I don't want to call it piranha tanks, right? Like start feeding on the Liberals, the New Democrats, and the Conservatives if the NDP start going up.
Okay, and also talking about standard of living and the future of it, what are Canadians thinking about that for the next generation?
They're not feeling very. Yeah, exactly. They're not feeling very well. About 2 out of every 3 Canadians think that the future generations will have a lower standard of living. Only 11% think that the standard of living for the next generation will be higher. That means people are negative by a margin of 6 to 1. And, Roger, when you look at the trend line, you can see that, realistically for, the last 2 years, especially, Canadians have been especially pessimistic about the future. Probably speaks to why they're so grumpy at the incumbent government, the Liberals right now, because, they don't have a lot of optimism. And there's probably just a lot of frustration as Canadians are just struggling to pay the bills and thinking, man, will my kids and grandkids, what type of economy will it be for them? Where will they get jobs? And will we have the same standard of living in the future that we have today?
And you got to blame someone. So blame the government.
Yep. And you know what? It's like when the voters are like this, they're just looking for someone, I don't know if I can say this word on TV, so get the kill switch ready, to spank, right? They're looking for someone to punish, right, when people are grumpy, because if you can't afford to pay for the groceries, I think for a lot of Canadians, what do you have to lose by looking at other parties, even if they are imperfect?
Okay. And you're perfect, Nik. Thank you, sir, for that update. Have a good one.
Cheers.
Nik Nanos is the founder and chief data scientist at Nanos Research.